Right. These notes, did so many of these.
In that dolly push-in, it sounds like you've written about 18 paragraphs and there's like 4 words on the post-it note. For this bit, I was literally laid back, like sat in a bed position on the desk.
There was one scene I literally couldn't hold it in because you slipped. I just saw you go. Hey guys, and welcome back to Fortune Theory for another main episode. God, I don't know about you, but like time feels like it's flying with me. Literally, I feel like we haven't been here a week ago. Like I'm just losing. I'm literally losing track of everything.
Every track of time, in every way.
Like when you move on from like education, weekdays just don't exist anymore. Like literally nothing.
Pretty accurate.
Anyway, on the subject of education, the film that we're going to be talking about today is actually a film that we made back when we were in education. Well, Patrick had finished college.
Half of this call and 75% of the group that made it.
Yeah, and I was at university at the time with our friend Luke. And yeah, enough said. Basically, just Luke. Luke is just Luke, our friend Luke. So yeah, we're going to watch and review our own film that we did for a uni project for our second year actually of university. So yeah, it's called Employee 91. It's available on Prime Video for a small fee. How much is it, Patrick?
Do not know. Do not advertise.
Well, I mean, people are going to want to watch it. So.
$2.90. I don't know. Is the links below? I think it's like tenner if you want to buy it. People have
it's really popular in Germany and Uganda. So
as far as I've found out, and Lithuania now apparently.
Lithuania as well.
I think.
Yeah. I think I said that wrong.
Actually buying this as well. People are actually buying and renting. Like we've had at least 4 rentals, I think, in the last
from
6
America.
months.
We've had 4 like American rentals when it actually went up in price.
You'll find out why I find this shocking in 19 minutes once this is over.
Oh, I know it's rubbish, and I've had like a lot of constructive criticism because we didn't do this at a very good time for us. Like literally, I had loads of weight, and I was like really mentally screwed up. And you were like, you were still like learning the basics, and we were like just bringing a new group together, and it was for our mate Luke's project for university, which we both agreed to help him with, but we ended up becoming more enthusiastic about it than him, but neither of us were actually ready to commit to the project.
It's one of like, the longest projects that college has had under its belt, and yet it's probably one of the quickest film turnarounds in like film history. It's like
between 17 to 20 minutes, and it's worked for some audiences, but we understand why it's shit and why there's inconsistencies.
The moment I was even in the editing like process with Luke, and we were just like, is this really working? We think it's working. We'll have to test it on audiences by just producing it. But anyway,
we are in current pre-production of a film which we're using this as kind of the overall kind of plot for this as an inspiration tool, but not exactly a complete rip-off of our own work. It's under the working title of Richard, following a character that will be played by me again, who does have a few issues, and we're going to add and take away some things and make it more of a feature film with a lot more explanation, but it won't be a boring 20-minute drag like we consider this to be, like you're about to experience. But yeah, well, you don't know. Up to you.
Well, you might love this. I'll be surprised, but you might.
I am a better actor than what I am like in this, by the way. Like in this, I was meant to be playing somebody who at the time I was appropriate.
Let me just clarify that this film,
and you were pretty much co-director / cinematographer. So yeah, for this,
and I have to half act in it as well.
Yeah,
because I'm one of the main characters
as a minor character, and probably the only
awful.
And then even though he didn't want to, Luke had to appear in this as well because we as my character's boss, which you'll see in the film. We originally were going to get someone else, but they weren't available. And again, it does kind of look like a student film, which obviously was what we weren't really going for.
The main issue with student films is they look like student films. It's the one thing you try to avoid.
I mean, my character was probably the only thing that we wanted to be that way, but we wanted your character and Luke's character to be like more adult looking people.
Yeah.
because the premise was meant to be based around like that's why we refer to your character as the landlord's son, because otherwise it would have just been a gentleman who we would have called the landlord.
Yeah.
Although it does make for an interesting plot element because you don't usually get that sort of dynamic.
It was kind of like we're all trying to sort of find out how do we make it as, and we're going to talk about this more in depth afterwards,
as plausible as possible,
because we have worked on like kind of, well, we have just worked on so many like tiny films in the last like 5 years, that like you just end up doing things that aren't age accurate through no one's fault other than it's like who you know, it's what you know, it's who you know and what you know. And so like luckily it was the kind of story where like theoretically speaking, like I might look like a landlord's son, so it worked really well. And hopefully in future installments, otherwise known as a Richard working title, it might work. Well, there we go.
Well, we're just, like I said, we're gonna have a bit more to it. We're gonna see more inside the mind of. Well, again, we'll talk more about that, shall we say, after we've watched it. Okay. So yeah.
See you in a minute.
Enjoy. See you in a minute. Enjoy the next 20 minutes.
The old company.
Trinity Pictures. We went to a film festival in January last year under that name, and we had like our own lanyards and everything. Story by our friend Luke Shakespeare. See, the music's the first thing that brings you in, but then it gets ruined by the lighting. It's just so bad. Like you can tell a shot has started. It just goes from black, fades into this like shot that kind of all looks dark anyway, of me pulling a bin bag in the middle of nowhere. Slip over with it. I hated that, honestly, just trekking around this woodland in a nice suit that's now covered in complete dirt and shit.
This is the only good thing, is at least it was all just costume for you. Like, and it was cheap as hell, isn't it? It's just meant to be.
But we filmed this in like November, December.
I know.
So everything was
cold.
Everything was cold, and it was just wet and sticky and horrible. Plus, the area we were going to do it was quite rough as well. So I was worried I was going to. We did security. We did like risk assessments of every little spot of a location we chose to film at. So that was great. So that was one thing we got right. And well, it was more for Luke's benefit because it was for his paperwork.
Yeah, luckily college called for it. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, uni. It was uni project. But yeah. Uni at college sort of thing. Right. These notes. We did so many of these. I think I wrote. What did I write on that one? Luke.
I have no idea. And the fact that just remember
this is scene one. I think I wrote on it. This is scene one of the film. In
that dolly push in, there's like. It sounds like you've written about 18 paragraphs and there's like 4 words on the post-it note. It's brilliant.
Although, to be fair, I'm a slow writer. Right, I hate this shot. There's
it's
nothing going on.
It's just a random insert to like cut, because it's like a minute-long shot of you just like in the background pouring stuff, making coffee.
Didn't take the tea bag out.
And that is the reason that tea bag is stuck out, is because it's so many versions of in between this shot. We've done like 19 takes of you making tea. So there's just like 15 tea bags in this one mug for some reason.
We didn't even drink one of them either. Just poured them down the sink.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All this naff equipment.
We had to borrow that headset from the place as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
And a surprising amount of this film is actually like on location sound, which you can kind of tell.
IA Technological Solutions Support Group. My name is Wilson. How may I help?
Remember the fact that you are reading the script as well, because
I just couldn't get the line.
It's because it's like paragraphs that we had to like cut down.
But now I'm here. I'm happy to help.
Well, pal, enough with all this crap. I just gave one bloody job to your colleagues. I just sat right next to you.
I'm sorry, sir, but we can't exchange any information between colleagues. It's against company policy.
Ah, come on. I'm one customer. Can you just walk over and fix one?
And a little trivia: this voice
that's you, isn't it?
Pitch shifted. Yeah.
Yeah.
In my spare room, just doing a Scottish accent to myself.
You're having a laugh.
You having a laugh?
One customer to the next.
See, I want to hear it back. I remember you telling me that, but I just can't hear you at all.
Yeah, I sent it to you and Luke as like a test to see if you what the hell you thought it was. That's how I knew it would work. It's brilliant.
I've just realised something. My headset was off during that last shot, so I had no sense.
Continuity. There you go.
Yeah, brilliant. One thing we'll be working on definitely. It's actual inside shots of my house, by the way.
Ah.
Yeah. That's literally the next room from where I'm sat now. That's literally the next room. And that's the landing.
Random cutaways to just some pointless dolly. Okay. There we go. To the next bit. Oh, the music builds. This was so rushed.
I don't do that. I put that towel straight in the wash after like 3 takes of that, by the way. I didn't actually just leave it there.
That's ADR. That was.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember you getting that shot. I had to repeatedly walk up and down the stairs. The moving van. That was when my neighbours moved in. Silly product placement, unintentionally.
Just for a bit. This was me, what, 2 years ago? God.
Listen, so my dad he's been working nights and getting up at like 6 in the morning.
Love that headroom.
2 weeks. I mean, there's the mortgage. There's
I hate that shot.
the bill.
Was my head like tilted? It looked like it's
all
like.
the gas and everything.
I suppose
to
I am a
do
bit
with
in
the
this.
house he's doing.
Where is this going, Ryan?
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Ryan. That's your new name now.
It's been 6 weeks. I'm pretty sure, hasn't it? It's what my dad said anyway. I think 6 weeks. Might have been more. I think that's what he said anyway. But
I use the fact that I'm stumbling on my remembered lines later, like 3, as like just part of the character being forgetful.
sorry, it's kind of urgent now. I mean, we're both in this. I mean, my dad's moaning at me. I'm sure you've got it as hard as we have. It's just if you can do it and whatever.
Yeah, it didn't help how we were mid-decorating at the time.
I know.
So everything looked like at my house. So everything looked half like awful.
Let me know when you get a place.
So you'll be able to get the money soon.
When I get paid.
So soon.
Like I said, when I get paid.
Cool. But I'll let my dad know anyway. I'll come round again.
Right, see you
Right.
soon, Ryan.
That hurt
Actually
like
hurt
hell.
you a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, I did 3 takes of that really hard and it hurt like hell. Because that wall is so thick.
Oh god. Oh, I love how I took Good Morning Britain, pitch shifted it, and used it as the TV. There you go, a little bit of copyright that no one would notice because it's pitch shifted.
What is that?
And the
Did you
ghost
see
as
that?
well,
The
yeah.
ghost out the window.
This is gonna be part of a TikTok. Do you see the ghost in Ollie's doorway? Like, it's brilliant.
You know the haunted music. Dun, 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 dun.
Kill camera.
Me taking
Just before it goes.
pills.
You took a picture, didn't you?
No.
The footstep
I wish-
shot.
I wish I still had those shoes. Don't look too bad. Just a bit fat on the tummy. Bit of beer belly. I've lost weight since then. I do look better. For the record, I can't drive.
Old car.
So this is, as we've established in many of these, so this is Pat's car.
The
or
magic
old
of
car at the
editing.
time. Yeah, to make it look like I was driving. Realistically, those cans and bottles
know.
would not be there. They're all empty.
It's just the fact of the drinks we have on the days, and it's so dumb. And now an
Your
actual
phone.
news report. Oh god.
There's a Clash of Clans update.
Is there?
I've never noticed that before. Oh my god.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, I was playing it at the time because I needed some escapism and stuff. I don't know what was in that bowl.
And the fact that the boss is on here is a Susan, because obviously we had
at the
female
time we had a
cast.
female actress in mind, but
Yeah.
we just didn't have time to change it, so we just thought, I don't know.
Oh, this
Maybe
is
it's
my
just one of the
breath
other
here.
managers. Oh yeah, you ADR.
Yeah, for like the first.
Right. I hate this shot of me taking the pills. Again, there's still no explanation. And what? Who chews pills? My mum's flamingo.
And you've had the flamingo cup. Yeah. A glass.
That's also my toothbrush making some announcement. Right. This is my nan's house. This is my nan's spare bedroom. Because we couldn't film in my bedroom because my bedroom's so small at the time. Obviously not now, it's different, but at the time I had a different bedroom. So
Well, it looks
you
more like
borrow
a
my nan's
small
spare
room.
Yeah. Plus we thought because it's so like bare, no offense to my nan, like it worked for this kind of portrayal, I think. We don't have that kettle anymore either. We got rid of that. We got a new one. Yeah. Why didn't you use the knocker? We have a knocker for a reason.
Listen, I need to come in.
Always.
Just you in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I
need to talk.
I've answered the door.
Okay, please, come on.
I've answered the door.
Don't have it. I need more time.
This scene makes no sense still.
When I'm trying to come up with what I'm trying to say for something in a podcast, I don't have it. I need more time.
This is us arguing.
my top 10 list. my top 10 list. I don't have it. I need more time. And then literally what anyone wants to do to you when they've been with you for about 5 minutes.
Anyone that's been in the same room as me for more than 2 minutes.
Not even this. Just the water. Just the hot water.
Just the whole water. Just the boiling
right.
water.
We knocked that plant out the window, by the way, because we did this shot so many times. Yeah, we knocked that plant out the window.
Fuck's sake. We did this about 8 times, yeah.
Also, my cat food makes a cameo because it's not the cat I have now.
Well, don't worry.
And
the camera bag.
Shoebox. And the camera bag. Yeah. And the box as well. It's literally just there, product like
Oh dear.
no context. It's all there. I was wondering if the ghost would appear again. It didn't. Yeah, it gets blurry now. I don't know if that's intentional or not.
It's just a crossfade, isn't it? Really. This good old almost deleted scene, I think, in the end, but it made it in. I like the hecticness. This is probably my favourite half scene out of the entire film. And then it ends in about 10 seconds.
Wasn't.
Are you confused? Because so are we.
Yeah. I honestly can't remember.
Look, Wilson.
I think if a film does its job to even overpower your mentality, then yeah, I think you've done a good job.
What do you want?
It's hard for me to explain.
When work asks me if I've done what they've asked.
I need a raise, all right? I need a raise. Okay?
Okay.
I'm 6 weeks late. My landlord's son keeps coming over my house every day, wanting money off me. Money that I can't provide because this job won't give it to me.
Cut to the other shoulder. Yeah, show
Do
that
you
tension.
have your landlord's own son coming to your place, asking you for money? Every day?
Here we go.
How would it make you feel?
I love how none of that was in the script either. I
was improv the entire scene. I was in the big quiet beginning.
Well, I was doing it for the intention of making you and Luke.
Or I can do.
Yeah.
We have procedures. We have plans. We have to give everyone a fair chance.
Yeah, so this is our
Do you
friend.
understand? Policies and procedures that you haven't done.
My hair wasn't too bad.
I haven't done it because this job doesn't motivate me.
Look.
Yeah, I hate that line.
At the moment,
that was awful.
Your track record is awful. I can't give you a raise because you're terrible with customers. Every single time there's a customer who's a little bit angry, you get bad reviews. I can't give someone who gets bad reviews a raise. It just doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. There is nothing I can do. Okay? Tell me, do you understand?
By the way,
I look like I
for
wanna
this
punch him.
bit, I was literally
Okay.
in like some sort of like laid back,
Go.
like
Back to your
sat in a
I
desk.
bed
remember you were so
position on the
awful.
desk.
Did you, like,
I was
did you-
laying on the desk.
The customer comes on
I
the
remember
other
for
end.
one there was one scene
Look at the
I
procedures.
literally
and remember.
couldn't hold it
Okay.
in because you slipped. And I just saw you go.
The reason it's
Alright.
such a blur on Luke's shoulder is because of the fact I was right next to him on the desk.
Good.
Where is this going?
Back to your desk.
Alright, yes. I think I might have something to sell. Let me think.
So noisy. Grain. We're gonna have to explain this as well to people. I will explain at the end what the hell
Yeah.
any of this means. If at this point in
Well-
the video, if you want to leave 2 comments, one at the minute, one now, and then one when we'll talk about it. With what you think's just happened, and then when we
Yeah.
talk about it, you do your second opinion. Like, see how close you are, because I. Oh god.
Well, like annoyingly, I think it gives it away. It's just everyone I've spoken to about it just never understood what we were trying to do.
Hmm.
So
This is
Yeah.
when I explain it, and even you're shocked because you've forgotten. I wouldn't be surprised.
well, I forgot, and like the thing is, I was there when we shot it, so
I know.
because you explained it to me. So
Well, I am going
Fucking-
to explain the version that I
I
remember
look like
Luke
I
and
look
I.
like Wilson Fisk from the back, just really fat.
I can't explain this bit, but I can explain what happened.
Well, there was a massive story behind that last moment there,
Mm.
which we may get into possibly.
Hey, credits. Which we won't. There we go.
Yeah. Written and directed by Luke Shakespeare, which was a
Boom.
project for him for our uni course, and that was the main priority. Mine was what I did for that project was a music video of "You Got a Friend in Me" in French, which if I can find a copy of it again, I'll leave it in the description. But it's basically me singing the song in
Oh,
French.
did I do any
So I went
spelling errors in this? I want to know. There was a lot.
I think there was one somewhere.
There was many that I had to like redo. I think every single one. Did I get Luke's name
There
right?
was something wrong, yeah.
I think everyone's name I got wrong at least once, other than my own. Associate producer? No, I spelled my name right. I think anyway.
I think there
Isn't
was
an-
one time
There's
where
an
you...
S before C, I believe there should be. I'm not sure, but associate. I can't even remember.
I was
myself
an
now.
associate producer. Well, I can't see anything wrong.
There we go. Oh yeah, cast.
Yeah, this
in
is where
order of
something got-
appearance. Oh, the credits were such a bitch on uploading to.
You should have put a hyphen between that because it looks a bit weird.
Of all places.
Music by Epidemic Sound even.
Do we actually have? Oh yeah, there we go. Special thanks.
Hmm.
There we go. God. And post-credit scene, he's alive. There we go. Right.
So yeah, I'll quickly explain the long story behind that scene.
That specific bit.
Hopefully, whilst that specific bit at the end, whilst we wait for our commenters, if there is any at this point in the video, to comment on what they think me and Pat were talking about earlier regarding what that moment meant overall before his so-called ending. So yes, originally the intention was for the character to commit suicide, which I suppose overall, in a way, he kind of did, but we left it a bit unanimous. Obviously, as we've established thousands of times before, I'm a franchise guy, and great, my laptop's going to die in a minute. Brilliant. Okay. If it does, I'll just hop on to my phone. So I was not intending on there being a sequel to this. I don't think you were either. Like, this was going to be literally its own thing after, like, we did it for Luke's project for uni. It was literally just a one and done thing.
Yeah.
We originally had it written within the intention that he jumps off a wall. He jumps off like a roof or something.
Well, we had a
commits suicide.
parking garage. Yeah, that he'd jump off.
Yeah, and then we changed the scene. We decided it would be more effective if he like walked off the edge of that cliff that he's at the end, where he is. But in the end, I think I was going through some stuff, so I wasn't really like happy with the idea of.
Well, you weren't overall happy with that idea anyway, so we wanted to make it as comfortable for you as possible, but still believable.
I didn't support, like, as logical as it probably would have been for the story. I didn't support the idea of portraying that on screen because I wasn't really in the right state of mind to do that, which I'm willing to admit. So we decided to change it to make it so if he did die, it was kind of unanimous. So he ended up. He basically had a drug problem, which kind of got the better of him in that regard. It left him ill and unconscious, left there basically to die if that didn't kill him. It's up to an audience's interpretation in terms of what happened, whether he had a cardiac arrest and died, or, well, I guess that's kind of what it was, wasn't it? Something like that. And
it looks like that anyway, but it's up to your interpretation. The ending, it's like the very end.
Or if literally he just like zoned out, passed out, and just lost it and just decided to let everything just sort of happen, and then like got recovered for hospital later. That was literally how it kind of turned out. But yeah. As for the other thing, which by now you've given your theory for, I'll let Pat explain.
So, well, bearing in mind that this was a change that Luke and I made it in the edit purely because of like we were just not convinced that we liked where the story went. Like as of like we made it a very originally it wasn't such a big twist, and it was more just like the final explanation of like what's been going on the entire time. Whereas we decided to sort of almost time jump a bit and go for the twist because we didn't immediately cut to like that weird crossfade to when like the boss is trying to get his attention. So what it actually is my character, the landlord's son, is a delusion that Wilson has, and it's just a manifestation that he's made based off meeting obviously the landlord, creating a relationship with him and his own thoughts. So the landlord's son is his own thoughts sort of manifesting and sort of trying to like
in a way that's bearable and for him to kind of comprehend with the situation he's in.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the reality of the situation, he can deal with it. But the reality is that he just isn't in that mental state to be able to deal with the situation he's in. Like, he's financially like screwed. He's not very good at his job. He's got severe mental health issues, depression, anxiety, and he's literally got no support, no network. He literally lives alone.
And we were lucky that
in an expensive house. So yeah, that was kind of the whole premise behind it. He's just so like he's so isolated and so screwed over by everything and everyone. Like, he's just literally in a bad beat. So his everything bad is like kind of just got the better of him. He's unconditionally sort of created this embodiment of your character who isn't real.
Yeah, and we were quite lucky.
That's also a factor from the drugs that he's taking as well, which obviously leads him to that moment at the end. So that was kind of the point, but I don't think many people got that because we didn't really.
Well, this is
we didn't show it. We didn't convey it enough to explain it.
All rightish, because like obviously, if you're trying to, you can't like. In reality, if someone has like a Fight Club idea, this is very much a Fight Club style thing. It became ended up becoming sort of inspired by Fight Club, like unintentionally, based off that us having to sort of rewrite it like in the final edit. But it luckily still made sense despite using the footage from the original idea, which was just that, you know, the main original thing was just that his life's coming, like, this guy basically decides to take his own life because of financial struggles, and because his landlord's son, because his dad, the landlord, is so busy, and because his boss won't give him a raise because he's just generally like in a bad place and he can't, get a raise because he's a bad employee. That was originally going to be the idea. It's just sort of a kind of sadly realistic way of just ending it all for himself, and that was it. But this made more sense, we hoped originally. But
In a
kind
way,
of-
it's kind of quite a really simplistic story.
Mm.
Great, now my computer's going.
But yeah, while I explain this, it was a like really, like you said, it's kind of a simplest story in a way, yeah, because it's the original idea would have, like I just said, been very kind of sadly realistic in the fact, like I said, that it's kind of what a lot of people go through, and a lot of these stories do this anyway, but like it's just, you don't want to glamorize something, you're just showing it for what it is. Whereas we would have gone for it if it worked, but it's just we felt that that what normally happens in an act 3 of something just didn't happen, and this just worked generally better. Put your phone like thing.
As Patrick once said, as Hagrid once said, sorry about that.
Don't forget to on its side. Hopefully, so
Oh, yeah.
like more space. Like, put it on its side.
Oh.
There you go. But yeah, overall, so the landlord's son isn't real. We've obviously, so if you want to, like, it's not the scene where he's got a bin bag full of stuff and he's like dumping it. The reality for Wilson is actually the reality for shooting. It's just like a bag of like rags and cloths and like stuff and like old like rubbish bags like bundled up, because that's what he would have been doing as well. That's the only explanation I do have for that, because it's still kind of questionable, like what that genuinely is. But the main point of it is that Wilson has got a delusion, whether it goes because of his, like, depending on how you interpret it, cardiac arrest, whether it dies, doesn't die, whatever, it goes away, whatever, but that is what happens to him. So yeah, how did that, if anyone has thought about it, is it nothing to like what you thought it was? Because it's nothing like we thought it would be when we started.
I do apologise. It's not a main, like, you know, hoping probably for a main release we were discussing this week. Well, there isn't any, not that I know of anyway, and I work at cinema, so I should know. But we haven't got anything. We've got Eternals next week and Red Notice, so we'll be talking about both of those. And if you liked our video, as in not this video, but the film that we have made that you can purchase if you wish on Prime Video, then let us know in the comments. If you didn't like it, then that's fair enough. We get that it's not very popular. We just thought we'd talk about it, talk about what went right and what went wrong. I think we actually did, before we started this channel, we did some audio Spotify podcasts discussing behind the scenes of it as well. So if you could find those, you put them in the link. People can watch those as well, which includes Luke in it. So we're talking a lot about behind the scenes of stuff. My audio is very bad though, so it's mostly Luke and Pat.
Yeah, when was that? This wasn't even this.
That was about
show. This was like,
beginning of last year.
I need to find those.
When we finished
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, content wise, if you haven't seen the French Dispatch review, it's there. If you want, if you're interested in Last Night in Soho, Saturday it will be out. The review on that, and Eternals. Basically,
another solo review by Patrick. As you see, we are going to try and start doing solo reviews now. Not because we're at a bad beat, just because we feel like, as we may have mentioned in previous videos, there's a lot I like and there's a lot Patrick likes, and I think moments where we can talk about it purely solo, hence the solo reviews.
And it allows for
a bit
more
it allows for no
tighter edit as well. That sort of isn't so, like, this is very much, this almost might feel like a live thing to you because of how unedited it might feel, but it allows for more of a sort of YouTube video as opposed to almost like an unedited podcast. But take that as you will, and I think Ollie's probably his first solo one might be the Eternal. Might be Eternals. I keep saying the Eternals. Eternals.
I got a
and
friend who keeps calling it the Elementals, which is actually the villains in Spider-Man Far From Home. If they've watched this, they'll know who they are. I won't say them, but you know, I'm looking at you in the camera now. Get the name right.
But on that note, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for Eternal. I see you tomorrow for Last Night in Soho, and next week for Eternals. So, thanks for watching.
Well, that'll be me, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll you know,
I
it
need to
doesn't
get- I need to
matter.
watch
We'll
it
see you
anyway,
when we
so-
see you.
Enjoy
Right.
the films we talk about.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Sure.
So, you know that blue Fanta, the mystery flavor?
Yeah.
You know, I found out it's tomato. Yeah, I know.
What?
It doesn't taste anything. It doesn't taste anything like tomato. My friend literally
Why-
almost gave
I
me it.
thought it was going to be like a Powerade, but what?
Well, I tasted pomegranate, which was actually agreeably in the when you scan the QR code, which tells you what it was and how it was made. There's pomegranate in it, and there's a few other things. But no, apparently, tomato is one of the main features for the ingredients. So, little fun fact there. If you keep that at the end of the podcast, no relevance whatsoever. It's not relevant. Okay, right. I'm going to bed because I've got a driving lesson in the morning, and I'm going to drink some more because I'm thirsty. See you later, boy.
I'm not going to look at you, by the way. I'm sick of that. No, I did not mean that at all.
Well, you should, because it's meant to be like the way.
I'm sick. I'm sick of looking at
you.
I'm looking at me and you in the video call, not the camera.
See, this is why you need one of those like broadcast, like news presenter things where you can see the screen whilst you're looking at the camera. Hi, and welcome to Fortune Theory.
Why can't the
News.
lens be what I'm looking at, not?
We can make that one day. It's not difficult. Like, it just...
Yes, technology. Says the guy who's coming from a laptop whose fucking lens cap is where the keypad is, not at the top of the screen.